comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome to a brand new Nerds United live on YouTube, Facebook. I'm your host, Greg Mahashko, and joined by the co-host of the year, that guy right there, Mike Lewis. What's going on, buddy? How are you doing tonight?
I am doing pretty good. Not much went on today. Got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, but yeah, today, the only thing that I did besides go to the gym, my mom and Nolan and me, of course, went to Cracker Barrel, had some Cracker Barrel food there, so that was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But, besides that, not too much else is going on.
So we are doing this on Saturday. We usually try to do it on Fridays, but last night Nebraska played Illinois.
They did. They played them.
It didn't go well. I mean,
No.
They lost. They lost in overtime, so I'm sure it could have been more embarrassing. But the 400th consecutive home sellout, longest streak in the country. It's the first of those milestones. That they won the 100th, the 200th, the 300th sellout. Couldn't quite finish it off last night against the Illini. So not ideal, but that explains at least a little bit. Hope to you, the viewers / listeners, that why we're doing this a day later. You talk about how you spent your day. I started my day with some yard work.
Oh, fun.
Went out there. We had we'll just call it a rogue tree that sprouted up out of nowhere. And I don't know its place of origin, but I do know that it was between a bush and the house. And I'm like, all right, if this thing gets bigger, it might, I could say foundation damage or things like that. But it grew up over the height of the gutters. So I'm like, it's time.
Yeah.
So got that down. Didn't quite excavate the entire base of it again, just because of its location. I got to do some more work to get to that. But had the twins out with me this morning. It was not unbearably hot, and we were in the shade. So as I'm, using my little pruning clips and just kind of breaking the big sticks and the littler sticks, they were putting them in the yard waste bag, and quite the helpful duo when they want to be.
Yes. I was going to say, speaking of yard work, so the good or bad thing is I rent. So somebody else takes care of the yard. However, the way they take care of the yard is simply just bring a riding lawnmower through, and I think they trim or whatever. So one of the trees in the backyard, the branches on there were getting kind of low, like really long and low.
Right.
So I trimmed a couple of those myself. And then, so I have two, I think I've talked about this. I have two bird feeders in the back and a bird bath and stuff like that. So unfortunately, the lawn is, because of the seeds and everything and the birds pecking at the ground, it is not good at all.
Right.
And I would not mind trying to plant some grass myself, because I know they're not going to do it, But also I'm like, I don't want to do it. First of all, I would have to do it and cover the seeds, because obviously I'm inviting birds over and they're just going to eat the grass seeds. So I'd have to do it and cover it, which I'm fine with. But I would like to know when they come by to cut, because I don't know when their schedule is. And I've had it before where obviously I have a lot of stuff in my backyard and they'll just go around it, which I understand they're not going to pick stuff up. But I wish I could know, because I have had it where, like, I'm at home and all of a sudden I hear them. So then I run out there and I grab the bird bath and I put everything kind of like to my house so they can actually get through stuff. Because if not, there's some parts that are just grass grows really high, So, but yeah,
sounds like they're not paid, enough to give a crap about, doing it the right way. They're just in and out, like you said, buzzing. No, it's funny that, you mentioned like the lower branches and things like that. So a couple of days ago, Thursday morning, I got home from taking the twins to daycare, Garrett to school, and I got home, and where I park in my driveway, the tree that's right next to that, I tend to try to keep the lower limbs cleared out, and I hadn't done it this summer, so I knew I was due. They were long and droopy, and it was, when you try to get in on that, tree side, you got to fight the branches. So I again got my pruning clips out and was getting that, stuffing it into a yard waste bag, and it's like it started about 10 to 8, so maybe not that. Let's not be crazy. It wasn't that early. It was probably 8:05.
Okay.
We got everybody home, or got home after getting everybody where they needed to be. And I'm just trying to clean it up real quick. And I'm listening to my morning routine, and I just happened to look at my phone, and a guy that I work with was like, "Hey, in fact, I still got it here. Where was that?" He's like, "You jumping on the meeting? This is at 8:31." And I saw it 5 minutes later. I was like, "What meeting?" He's like, someone from higher up outside of our office, higher up in the company. It's like on Teams. I said, "Thanks, bud." Had me worry something happened to you, but I completely forgot about it. And I texted my boss because again, a couple of guys were in the office. Not everybody goes to the office there in Breeze because we cover a lot of area. But I texted my boss like, "I'm so sorry. I plumb forgot." Like, it's fine. I jumped in right away, answered a question. I was like, I might be late, but I'm here, and they know it.
Right, exactly. Hey, speaking of Breeze, I've been in Breeze twice recently, and got to go to my favorite place in Breeze,
which
Wally's.
is
Wally's.
Oh yeah, you said that. Sorry.
Yes, I thought you were going to bring something up. I was like, wait, did you know I was going to talk about this? Yeah. No, I did. I sent you a picture. I was like, but I had to drop some a form off at the doctor's office, which my doctor is in Breeze. And last time I went there, I got a physical. This is back in April, and I drove home, and I was like, man, I can't believe I didn't go to Wally's because I'm never in Breeze. I never have a reason to go to Breeze. Even if I go to my mom's house, which is close by Breeze, and for food,
you don't make the drive.
Exactly. For food, we'll go to we'll get something close by or
Right.
But anyway, so then I had to drop off a form. I'm like, okay, I'm going to Wally's. Funny thing is, so if anybody does know Wally's, which most people listening to this probably don't, it's an old burger place. The burgers and fries, shakes.
That's about it.
Yeah. I don't think it's changed in 30 years or more. Like
they might have thrown a new coat of paint on it.
Maybe the building itself looks the exact same, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing.
No.
It's the only place I know of, and I didn't realize it till I got there, and then I had to go somewhere else to get something that says they only take cash and checks.
Right.
So I had to go to the ATM and get cash because I don't carry cash on me. I was thinking about it. It's so rare today that somebody uses checks. I think I used to use them for rent, and it's switched, and I can do it online now.
Oh, that's cool.
But I think if you go to Walmart and you try to pay for it with a check, I think they would be confused. I think some of the cashiers would be like, "I know we do this, but I don't know how."
The young ones have never seen a check, and the old ones haven't seen one in a long time.
Yeah. Now I think my mom maybe she uses checks. I'm pretty sure she still balances her checkbook, which is something I just let U.S. Bank do. But anyway, the burgers are still delicious. The first time I went, I had a double cheeseburger. Actually, I got 2 double cheeseburgers. I didn't eat both of them, but I'm like, I'm gonna want one later, So I had one later, and a large ski. And then next time I went, I had double cheeseburger and a chocolate shake because I'm like, I remember the chocolate shakes being good. So and they were.
I remember. I'll never forget. It was middle of June 2020. It was a Monday. It was my first day in the office out in Breeze at the new job. It was technically like 2 weeks before I was contracted. Like my contract date's July 1. But what I did. I used to drive a truck and hoof the water all over the place.
Yeah.
And in that old job, I burned 3,600 to 3,800 calories a day.
Yeah.
And this new job is much more sedentary.
Yeah.
I say new job. I've been doing this job now longer than I hoof the water around. But yeah, my boss says like, yeah, Greg, I don't know if you stepped on a scale today, but it's probably the least you're ever going to weigh again. And the prevailing theory is that a skinny agent's a failed agent.
Okay.
We make money, we eat, etc. But then that we're sitting at lunch, and I was like, maybe we're all gaining weight because he bought Wally's for everybody. I was like, maybe that's a contributing factor here. What do you think?
Yeah. I gotta start getting more serious about my weight and eating right stuff. Like, granted, I just talked about eating Wally's. Every once in a while I think that's fine, but probably and Cracker Barrel. But
moderation.
Yeah, moderation. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't want to say like I was doing really. I feel like I am doing pretty good. I'm losing weight in unconventional ways.
Okay.
That makes it. When at the beginning of April, I went to the doctor. And I was like 278.
Okay.
And he said, after lab work and stuff, he's like, your cholesterol's in the normal range, but like the very high end of the normal range. He's like, you could stand to lose some pounds. He's first time I'd ever met this guy because my doc left, so I, new providers, whatever. And he's looking in my chart. He's like, oh, I see you've battled your weight here. For the last couple of years, I was like, Doc, I've battled my weight my whole damn life.
Right.
But this is a guy who like runs marathons, and like my wife, who is a nurse practitioner in and is familiar with these providers. She's like, just so you know, and she wasn't like, she was preparing me. She wasn't like being mean or anything. She's like, he's gonna probably say you're overweight, and he's gonna recommend a vegan diet. He said he can. I said he could try.
Yeah. No, I can't
that's not going to happen. But that was 278, and then Thursday morning I got on the scale, and it was 249.8.
Damn. You're close
now
to
a lot of
weight.
Yeah, but it's distributed very differently. I promise you, because I still got the spare tire here.
Yeah. Oh, so do I.
Yeah, but you got the guns,
But that's good. That's really good.
A lot of it can be attributed to the fact that I usually don't eat breakfast or lunch, and then I don't have a whole lot for dinner. Okay,
yeah. That's a lot of people do. Yeah.
Some of the things that I tried implementing at that time back in April were no food after 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And cutting down on carbs. And I won't say I've been as disciplined in that recently, but have had some other things going on. But anyway, I say on Thursday. So getting back to the Thursday morning, 249.8. Very, very proud of myself. Thursday evening, I'm coming home from work, and I'm like, I'm not going to want to eat when I get home. I don't want fast food, but I'm going to get fast food, and I got Dairy Queen. And then Friday morning, I had a little bit of a drive, and I didn't get coffee on the way out of the house, so I was like, going to need some of those bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then last night it was pizza.
Yeah. So that's my problem. And what I got to work on as far as weight loss is not going to fast food, because it is either fast food or gas station.
Yeah.
So
gas station too.
I've talked about it before. It's so easy for me if I'm coming home from somewhere to be like, I'm just going to stop at the gas station, grab a slice of pizza, grab some chips, or 2 bags of chips or whatever, 2 slices of pizza, and do that rather than go home, cook something, but I gotta try to limit myself to like maybe 1 day a week at most, and then just try to add more fruits and vegetables in my life, which the fruit part is easier. The vegetable part
sucks.
Yeah.
I did cook dinner tonight. Had some pork chops and some,
nice.
And granted it's frozen, so I know when it's frozen, it takes all the nutrients out of it, but broccoli with cheese.
Oh, that's still good.
And a salad. So,
okay, yeah, that's good. How'd you cook your pork chop?
I just put them in the pan on the stove.
Okay,
nice. Little seasoning on both sides. It's pork, so you don't need a lot of salt. No. In my opinion. So a little bit of salt, pepper, some onion powder, garlic powder, and a little smoked paprika.
Yeah, perfect.
And just a little bit of vegetable oil. And these pork chops, they had that nice rind of fat on the end of it. So I tried to cook that down or crisp that up, however you want to phrase it, by cooking it on the side. So all in all, hey, pork chops are delicious, man.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
well, we had this. This is why we weren't worried about being able to fill some time. So
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
But let's do this in. Do you want to do it in order of excitement or
Sure.
in chronological order? I mean,
I want to do it in order of excitement because I'm curious about your order of excitement for things.
Okay. All right. So we'll just jump right into it. Earlier today, after did the yard work and got a shower, I took my oldest to the movie theater, and we watched Transformers 1.
Okay, so this is what you're least excited about is Transformers 1.
Are we doing at least?
Why wouldn't you? Are you want to go most excited to least excited?
I figure we'll just do it in the way that I wrote it up on.
So not in order of excitement. Okay.
I don't know what else.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. Like I said, I was curious of your order of excitement. We'll talk about order of excitement at the end.
Right. Yeah.
We'll rank them how excited.
We'll recap it.
Okay.
So Garrett has really been, dare I say, embracing Transformers.
Good.
Mostly like he watches Transformers Prime. There's the Rescue Bots or something, that's more geared to littler kids. But we watched that. We went on the first day of school when he had half day. We went to lunch and we went to watch Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Yes.
I think we talked about that at the time. And so they had a trailer for Transformers 1 and he just lit up. He's like, oh, I want to see that. And it came out this weekend. So I said, he didn't have a great day at school on Thursday, but I said, but if you bounce back and if you have a good day on Friday, then, we'll and do your other, basic minding around the house, then I'll take you. So we went and it's a Transformers origin story, which was weird because you didn't have the classic Transformers voices. Like Peter Cullen did not voice Optimus Prime. It was Chris Hemsworth. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this, I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but at the very end when Optimus is doing his like final monologue about things and into the credits, you definitely I thought, and I didn't double check IMDb, but it sounded like they were trying to blend Hemsworth and Peter Cullen's voices to kind of evolve to that more familiar Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime sound. Yeah. Now I don't know, like Garrett, right away he's like, well, this was Transformers 1, there'll be a Transformers 2. I'm like, right. Maybe. The trailers tell you quite a bit. They're friends. They're not original names, not Optimus Prime and Megatron. I don't even remember Megatron's original name, but they're friends. They are first day miners. And you kind of learn the history of Cybertron and what is it? Iacon City. That's what it is. You learn about how the Primus who created or who had control of the matrix of leadership and how he sacrificed himself to essentially create Cybertron, and how he's somewhere in the core. And you learn about the primes and then the betrayal. And who betrays whom in this? It's interesting. I'm not going to say it. The movie's been out for 48 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it. But then you go on the adventure with the characters who will end up being obviously Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee. Oh, by the way, you find out very early why Bumblebee doesn't have a voice in the other movies.
Oh, okay.
This is just a fun little spoiler. I apologize, but Bumblebee talks kind of nonstop, and you really wish for Bumblebee to be quiet.
Okay.
But Bumblebee is voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, so it's perfect. I mean, not a complaint with his performance at all. It's just he's almost exiled down into like subsection 50, and they're like, I didn't know there was subsection 50, and so he's a little cuckoo, but he gets a figure. And then I want to say I should know the female trainer. Anyway, Scarlett Johansson, whoever she plays in the movie. they are on an adventure. They run into what was believed to be a dead Prime, but he's alive. And he gives them their power-ups and their ability to transform. Spoiler. And then it's a little bit of a rebellion on the powers that be, if you will. So it's a good old-fashioned rebellion movie, Mike.
All right. Well, sounds good.
But he enjoyed it. I knew going in that I was like, all right, I don't even think I had breakfast. I had coffee this morning. So I got a thing of popcorn for me. He wanted his own popcorn. So instead of going large, we went like small and regular. He got some of the gummy nerd candy things, and I got some Reese's Pieces. He got a slushie, and I got a bottle of water.
Okay.
Concessions put us back about $44.
Oh yeah, easily.
On top of the $20-ish for the movie, and I'm like, But the movie hadn't started yet, and he says, "Dad, I wonder when we'll be able to watch this one at home." I was like, probably by Thanksgiving.
Probably, honestly, yeah.
So anyway, we had some fun with that. But I mean, if you look online, there's not a whole lot of negative things that are being said about it, and there's not a whole lot of negative that I couldn't find a lot of fault in this movie. I think for Garrett and kids today, it's what the Transformers movie from 1986 was for us. And I remember I watched that movie in theaters. And then I didn't see it again until I was in my 20s, and I found it on DVD when I was living in Nebraska. Okay. But it's all about the search for the matrix of leadership. Like when they, and I haven't seen the Transformers movie probably in by now close to 20 years again, but they talk about the matrix of leadership, and immediately I was like, it's brought back. I'm like, I remember that from the other movie. I mean, so there's a world, maybe not. But I feel like Transformers 1 is going to be this generation's Transformers movie. So
yeah, probably. Yeah.
If I could get him on board with that iteration of Transformers, that'd be a win. He wants Transformers everything. His birthday's 2 days before Christmas, so he's like, Dad, for either Christmas or my birthday, can I have this and this? And like he was telling my mom, some of the wants, and she's like, well, Grandma, Grandpa, we don't have that much to spend.
Right. So,
yeah. Like he showed one thing, and and my mom was talking to me about it, and Garrett's our oldest, but he's their third grandchild.
Yeah.
So like my nephew's sophomore in high school, my niece is in 7th grade. They have the comprehension to be like, all right, we're budgeting $100 for Christmas, and you can blow it on one big thing, or you can have 5 other things, right. 5 $20 things, whatever. But Garrett, he's not, he's looking at quantity, not necessarily quality. Yeah. So, but anyway, he's already picked out a lot of Transformers toys and Transformer Legos that are a thing. Of course they would be. So yeah, hey, we're in the right direction. Like I'm not saying we're done with Pokemon, but I feel like we're slowly
good
evolving in the toy and entertainment realm for him. So we'll take it.
Perfect. Yeah, so, I did not see Transformers 1, so I have nothing to say about it. I'm sure it's good.
Oh, hold on. I actually, all this time, ta-da! There we go.
There it is. All right. Interesting.
And the thing is that I was looking at it, it's on the bottom. I don't know if you can see, but it's my picture. It's the stuff it's the slides, the images that I want to show in the show. And then it's you. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, we're talking about Transformers. So I don't know if you can tell who's who. Obviously, the big guy in the gray is Bumblebee. No, I'm kidding. But no, it was a fun movie. And it was, super age appropriate. I think some of the questions were like, can I take my 7-8-year-old? The only language that I know about is at times when Bumblebee was, he's not known as Bumblebee, he's just known as B random set of numbers. He's like, but what call my name? Badassatron. He's like, wait, Badassatron. So I don't really think that Garrett picked up on it. He didn't look at me. He's like, Daddy, he said a bad word. He was pretty well into it. So
yeah.
Transformers 1, go watch it. I think it's good for all ages.
Perfect. I'll check it out when it's on streaming.
Can't wait for my great grandma to go. She's 93. So, well, why don't you tell us, Mike, a little bit about what you watched this week?
Only thing I watched was Agatha All Along, which yep, there it is.
Look at me on the ball this time around.
So there we have Teen. He's called, and he's going to be called something else.
Did you say teen?
Teen.
Like teenager?
Yes.
Okay.
At least that's how he's credited, and
right.
This big mystery of what his real name is, because actually in the show, so I don't think this is really a spoiler because I don't want to spoil anything, but Agatha and Teen are talking, and then she says, well, like they're driving somewhere, and she says something like, "So tell me about yourself" or something, and all of a sudden the sound goes out. Well, like so he's starting to talk, and the sound goes out.
No.
And she like kind of looks around. And she like turns up the radio and she hears the radio fine. And you hear like see her snap her fingers, but she's like, so there's some kind of spell over him where and in the preview,
he can't like disclose his real identity or something.
He can't understand it.
Gotcha.
And in the in one of the trailers or whatever, I think she says something like, "So what's your name again?" And he says his name, but his lips and the sound is like there's some kind of spell over it. Right.
I see.
It's probably Mephisto, obviously. That's who it is. No,
see, I thought everybody was saying it was gonna be like Wiccan or one of Scarlet Witch's kids.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making the joke.
Yeah, that's what it's probably going to be. Also, I don't care. The show. Oh, what's up, Highlander Gun?
Highlander Gun is here. Says, "Hey guys, good to see you, Highlander." We're celebrating Husker victory today, but moving on.
True. The show is better than I expected. As of right now, two episodes in. Now, the bar was set pretty low for me. It does. So, obviously, in WandaVision, there was like they're stuck in the 50s and they're stuck in the 60s, stuff like that.
Right.
Something similar to this is when you first start the show, she's in a detective show, like a detective procedural show. Mm-hmm. And, I won't say how long that lasts for, but it was interesting. As far as kids watching it, I think your age kids, there's some parts on there that are actually I think it might be a little bit too spooky for kids.
Okay.
I
kind of thought that might be the case.
Yeah. I don't know what ages, but especially like you're like Garrett, I think I don't know. Maybe you watch it, maybe you have a different idea of it. But
I say this, Garrett doesn't have a high tolerance for scary things.
That's understandable.
So,
I mean, especially at his age.
So, am I seeing Aubrey Plaza there?
You've seen Aubrey Plaza. I don't remember who she plays. She plays. Well, only reason I know, I don't even know if they. I forget what her name in the show is, but on one of the trailers, they call her the Green Witch in a very cringy way.
I feel like I remember that, but yeah.
And then the lady all the way to the right, she's another witch. So the whole thing is they have to go down the witch's road, and this from the trailer. So that's why I'm saying it's not a spoiler. And there's 2 episodes out, and the reason they're going down the witch's road is I forget why, but if you go down the witch's road, she gets something, or you get whatever you desire. I think it is.
Aubrey Green Witch aside, it looks like her character's name is Rio Vidal.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently there's also supposed to be a big reveal about that Aubrey said about who her character really is.
I saw an image, like one of the headline type, things that I'm not good at. But it's like, who is Aubrey Plaza playing in Agatha All Along? And they had a graphic from a comic book, because we've not seen this character in any other medium, of Blackheart.
Oh, okay.
And I believe Blackheart is the child of Mephisto.
I think so. Yes, I heard that too. Yeah. So the guy, like I said, teen. I mean, actress is Joe Locke, I think. Anyway, I'm like, let me get some information on him because I've never seen him before. And on Wikipedia, it's like his ethnicity is Manx, Manx, and I'm like, I've never heard of that. So I'm gonna click on Manx, and then it's like people from the Isle of Man, and I'm like, I didn't even know that was. I'm like, where is this? I've never heard of that before.
So, is that? Where is that? Is it in England?
I want to say near Ireland, maybe England. I don't know. I forget.
Hold on, dear Google.
Just go to Google Isle of Man, and then
that's exactly what I did.
Scroll down.
So it's actually between Northern Ireland and England.
Yeah. So
it's kind of right in between there. So
yeah. Yeah, I think so.
It'd be a weird place to.
I think so too. But I looked up how many episodes there was going to be. So there's going to be 9 episodes of this. They have the first 2 out already, and then the next, however many, my math is horrible. It's going to be
weeks or 7.
It's going to be weekly, and then the last 2 episodes are going to come out October 30th.
That's pretty good timing, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they did that pretty well. Which also, you said October 30th.
30th, yeah.
Does that mean that
I think it's October 30th. I could be wrong.
Halloween's on the 30th. I mean, I know Halloween's on the 31st, but is that on a random Thursday? I feel like it is. Halloween's on a Thursday this year.
All right.
This is what you can learn when you get that handy dandy calendar app out. Matt, why did I almost call you Matt? I'm clearly not on my game today, sir.
It's all right.
I apologize to you. You deserve better.
That's right. Speaking of Halloween, what are the kids going as?
Ooh, so Robert is going to be Spider-Man.
Okay.
Matthew's going to go as the Hulk.
Okay.
And Garrett is undecided. I think he really wants to go as a Transformer, but like finding one that he likes or approves.
Yeah.
Like that. So, but yeah, we already had a Spider-Man costume because I think somebody's like, "Oh, hey, your kids love Spider-Man. Here, you can have this." I think we have to find a Spidey mask for Robert. Matthew's got the muscle Hulk suit, and it's not it covers his eyes, but it's more of like a cap with like a I don't say bungee, but like an elastic type thing to kind of hold it in place. So I was like, buddy, why don't you just take your shirt off? And like, you're 3, you'll be fine. We'll just paint you green and be like, I'm the Hulk. I'm the Hulk. And then I think Garrett is leaning towards a Transformer, and realistically, now is not the perfect time because plenty of Transformer merch is going to be out there. So,
oh yeah, for sure. And what are you going to be?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go as me.
Oh, nice, interesting. Are you going to be taking trick or treating, or do you stay back and
so
stand out?
With the exception of last year, I've always stayed behind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then last year we went out as a family, and I'll just pretty well go where do what I'm told.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Worst case scenario is I buy a bunch of candy, and we go as a family to trick or treat, and then I have more candy.
Yeah,
darn.
Yeah, exactly. I know when I first moved in here in 2020.
It's a good idea, Highlander.
Yeah,
Highlander says the spray string to go with the suit.
Yes, absolutely.
He'd love it.
I passed out candy 2020, I think 2021, maybe 2022 even, and then I think one year I got nobody. Next year I maybe got 5 people. Next year after that maybe 10. And I think last year I went to my brother's house because he's more of into like a subdivision where kids will actually go around and stuff like that. And my aunt was there, and she buys the big candy bars, like the jumbo size candy bars.
That's pump the brakes, Aunt. Come on now, but kids were loving it. This year I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I might do that. I might help out a friend of mine, trick or treating and stuff like that. So who knows? But it'll be good. I just know. Was it last year? I can't remember, last year or 2 years ago, we did all as like Ghostbusters.
Yes.
And I did this. I was when it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I remember that. Yeah.
And that was just brutal.
Yeah.
Because you're walking around like this.
Yeah.
And it's so damn hot in that thing. So I won't be doing that again. If I do anything, I'll just, pull something off the rack that's, I don't say it's not going to be flattering, but, at least, easier to move around in.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So for Halloween, it may be a controversial topic. What is your thought on like older teenagers going out? Let's say anything in high school or above, going out.
I went. I'm trying to think. Did I go? I think I went freshman year.
There's two schools of thought on this.
Right.
Is that one? Okay, let's say teenagers going out, and let's say that their costume consists of a t-shirt and a hat, and they are, whoever. I'm casual guy or whatever, and they're going out and get candy. There's two schools of thought of this, and I honestly don't know where I stand on it.
I did that last year. Not last year, but the last year I went trick-or-treating.
So one school of thought is they're taking candy away from kids that, little kids and stuff like that. Second school of thought is, hey, at least they're not doing as long as they're not doing anything damaging. Like if they're going out and smashing pumpkins or something like that, that's a different story. But if they're just going out, and having fun and stuff like that, that's nothing wrong with it. So I'm just curious what you thought, because I'm not sure where I stand.
The last time that I went trick-or-treating was 14, freshman year. Me and my buddy Joe, we made a 11th hour decision to do it. And basically, like this does not age well. With the benefit of hindsight, I'm not proud of this, but we went in jeans and zip-up hoodies with pillowcases as our bags, and we're like, people going like, "What are you supposed to be, Ted Kaczynski?"
Okay. Yeah,
but it wouldn't have been the unit. It would have been the duo because there were two of us.
Yes.
But again, that was topical. It was the 90s. Now, honestly, like I'm not. If I'm handing out candy, I'm not turning anybody away. Like I'm not be like,
I agree.
Aren't you a little old?
Right. No, I agree with you there. Yeah.
Largely because I don't want them to throw it in my house.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
But also because like most of the time I have more candy than I'll ever need anyway.
Yeah.
Like there are times where I'll be sitting out there. I think 6 to 8 is probably the quote unquote designated times. And again, this is gonna sound, I don't want to say bad, but I used to just sit because we had 2 vans, and I'd just sit, like put the tailgate seat down in my wife's van and sitting there, and I've got all of the candy just in the back of the van, and like I'm like, come on up, get some candy, like take as much as you want, I don't care. And then like mom or dad or both are walking by like, maybe, and I'll joke, be like, maybe not the best thing to say is, come on, kids, come over here to the van for some candy.
Right.
But they laugh because they understand the moment. But there'll be times where I'll just kind of get tired of being out there. And so I'll be like, how much candy you get? You want all this candy here? And just go. Be like, all right, I'm going in. Y'all are my last. So
yeah.
And back here, I mean, you've been in our neighborhood plenty of times. The front part of the neighborhood gets hammered. But like the back street here, I mean, sometimes we'll get 10 or 15, people coming through. And, like I said, I buy a lot of candy because I know it's not going to go to waste.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah. True.
But yeah, so we'll figure out how. We got a few weeks to figure out Halloween yet. And I know one of Garrett's classmates, they always throw a big Halloween party for the entire class and like other friends that they know and other kids in the school. But, there's usually upwards of 30 kids there, and this year it's Beetlejuice themed.
Ooh, okay.
And Garrett has not seen the movie, the first movie. He doesn't want to. Kind of going back to like that Agatha All Along. Like he wouldn't want. He doesn't want to watch Beetlejuice. He probably wouldn't enjoy Edward Scissorhands. He doesn't want to watch Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. At his age, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. But kids in his class do. So I'm. they're not bad kids. They're not bad parents. It's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch a lot of horror movies growing up. I remember being at a friend's house probably when I was 10, 11, watching Critters and Critters 2. I thought at the time that the Monster Squad was like, I don't know, this is pretty scary.
Yeah.
So hey, it's all in the due timing,
Exactly.
So,
all right, what do we have next?
Next, we have a show that it's been on my radar for a while. A couple of years ago when I flew out to Nebraska to surprise best friend of the show, Josh, it was on Starz. Starz was an available channel in the hotel I was staying at, so I was able to watch a little bit of it there. But it got canceled after 2 seasons of Starz. And while a 3rd season is tentative at best, like maybe a long shot possibility because the star just got cast and is filming a new series, the first 2 seasons are on Netflix. And this is the wrestling drama Heels, starring Stephen Amell.
Yes.
And the other guy, the guy who was on Vikings.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. So it's I kind of, I don't want to say dove into it. Alexander Ludwig is who plays the brother there in the background. You have Stephen Amell, who is Jack Spade, and his brother Ace in the back. They're sons of Tom the King Spade, and this is a really kind of messed up family.
Okay.
And I say that not in like a outwardly negative way, but I don't know, spoiler alert or trigger warning. One of the episodes just starts with Tom Spade, the dad, the founder of the DWL, the Duffy Wrestling League down there in Duffy, Georgia. He's like on a jog and he's saying hi to people and gets home and he's checking on the chickens or, the produce that they got growing out there. And he sees a deer, I think, in the garden. And he goes into the house, into his bedroom to grab a pistol. I was like, he's going to shoot the deer or scare the deer away. And he goes out the door and I didn't see that coming. And no. I was very much surprised by that. And Ace Spade, his youngest son, comes down and finds him and, can't imagine, as a character, what transpires in that moment. But anyway, it's largely about, how the best shows are about relationships, and then the subject kind of revolves around that. So the relationships in question are like Jack and Ace, because the brothers, they sometimes get along, but then Jack's got a wife and a little boy, and now he's got a mom who's widowed, and the town, that the community is kind of its own character because they've always come out in support of the Duffy Wrestling League, but it's also some of the other wrestlers, and you meet some new up and comers. But it's a story about relationships that's framed in an independent wrestling world. So for that, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I say fun. Let me rephrase. It's a really good show.
Okay, good.
I enjoy watching it. There are elements to the show that make me think about my own life in situations and how I could or should have, handled things better or done things differently. But when you look at the cast, you mentioned Stephen Amell, who's got bona fides. I mean, he was Green Arrow for 8 seasons, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think it was 8.
Alexander Ludwig, who again was on Vikings for countless years. You have Chris Bauer, which is not a name that you're likely to probably know, but he's a tremendous character actor, and he even had here's my Chris Bauer tie-in: The Office. I saw that face. he did like a one shot when there was some Dunder Mifflin turmoil. They were closing a branch, and Scranton was trying to work these deals, and this guy comes down. He's like, no, that's always been New York and the Syracuse. He was a Dunder Mifflin paper sales rep from another branch. But anyway, Mary McCormick. Go ahead.
I was going to say, by the way, the face was not because of The Office. The face was my mic keeps going out.
Oh,
yeah.
I had no idea. Let me know if my mic goes out, I guess.
No, it's just mine.
Mary McCormick, who's been in so much. I had to remember that name because she played, I can't remember in Howard Stern's Private Parts. She played Howard's wife in that movie. But also, like CM Punk is in the show in like a, bit spot cameo role. As a wrestler by the name of Ricky Rabies, which is kind of fun. It has James Harrison. I don't know if you know who James Harrison is. If that's a name,
that sounds familiar. He's a wrestler, isn't he?
He's a retired professional football player.
Yeah, James Harrison, the retired professional football player / wrestler. No,
he played for the Steelers for most of his career. Also played for a couple other teams, but he's you talk about like workout videos. If you ever just looked him up on Facebook or something, and what he lifts, you'd be like, yeah, nice job, James. I can double it, but no. The dude is a beast in the gym, but it's also really fun because he's not known for his acting. He is known for like the longest play in Super Bowl history. So that's pretty fun. Super Bowl 43, the Steelers versus the Arizona Cardinals. He intercepted a pass from future Hall of Famer Kurt Warner and returned it 100 yards for a touchdown. I know that because I watched it. I'm a Steelers fan. So, just like I said, it's really framed around the relationships of the wrestlers and their, in and out of the ring approaches to life. One of the main producers on the show is Mike O'Malley. Do you remember that name?
No.
Do you remember Guts on Nickelodeon?
No.
Or Global Guts? You don't remember Global Guts? They had like kids competing in like these physical challenges, and they had to climb the crag at the end to take home a piece of the crag and hold it up.
I'm looking at it now. The images, that doesn't seem familiar, but what you described seems familiar. But I you know what? I was thinking of Double Dare.
Oh, a different guy altogether.
Yeah.
So Michael O'Malley, he's not only in the show, he's one of the producers of it, and I think one of the writers too. But I got to give him credit for the presence that he brings as his character, who's kind of like a Paul Heyman-esque. His promotion is a lot of blood and guts, a lot of car crash type of matches, and a lot of his character's a bit of an instigator, a shit stirrer. So, but Michael O'Malley's great in the show. I mean, everybody is. I don't think there's any performance that's subpar in any way. So I'm into the second season now, and kind of looking forward to at least where the season goes. And again, with Stephen Amell just getting picked up for Suits Los Angeles, which I believe is filming right now. I don't know if you listened to that episode of Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
No.
Okay. Do you still listen to that
on occasion.
Okay. So he was very excited to get the Suits Los Angeles job because it's actually filming in Los Angeles. So, gets to like be with his family and be at home, things like that. But it does put Heels season 3 in a limbo situation. So, we'll see. I'm enjoying what I'm watching of Heels so far, and we'll see if there's more Heels to come.
Well, perfect. Yeah. So I don't. Did you have more? I think so. Okay. Let's go to our area of interest now.
Okay.
So rate these and how interested you were in them, I guess,
or
you are
now.
In
okay.
them. Transformers 1, and we'll go least to most.
Okay.
Transformers 1, Agatha All Along, or Heels? And Heels, I should say.
I'll say I'll do both rankings. First, I'll do where was I at before we started the conversation, and where am I now?
Gotcha.
So in least interested to most interested, I would have put Agatha All Along, then Transformers 1, and then Heels.
Okay.
And I think now, based on your preliminary, reviews, I'd probably switch Transformers 1 and Agatha.
That's fair.
So probably,
That's fair.
And again, I really enjoyed Transformers 1. But, Garrett enjoyed it more. I mean, it's definitely geared to them. I saw some people rumbling like, why did they do this all completely CGI animation? Why not do a full, like a more realistic, why not keep the same art style that they had for the live action movies? And the obvious answer is budget.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this, look, they spent a lot of money on this, but ramp it up probably, 6-8 times if they were going to have it be the photorealistic, like Shia LaBeouf style of CGI that, because it's full. There's not a human in this movie.
Yeah.
There's not anybody that you can prance across the screen there just to save $50. It's they're all robots.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm going to give Agatha All Along a fair shot now. Thanks to your recommendation.
Yeah. I would say one thing that I didn't like about Agatha All Along, but I think you will like it, is that there was a song that they're all singing that lasts a little bit too long. And I'm like, is this going to turn into a musical? Am I going to have to skip this episode? And they do the full song. It's, and
is it an original song?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a song they all sing to get to the Witch's Road or something. If I remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Gotcha. So it's like it's a witching song.
Yeah.
The song is witching, man.
That's what they say. So the song is witching.
That's probably exactly what Teen says.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, how about you, man? What before we got started talking and you knew?
Yeah. Well, before I would say that before I would saw anything, I would say my interest probably would have been maybe Heels first, then Agatha All Along, then Transformers.
You mean Heels like most interest or least interest?
Sorry, I did that wrong. Least interested first would be Transformers 1.
Okay.
Then Agatha All Along, and then Heels.
Okay.
Now afterwards, I probably, and now this partially because I saw Agatha All Along, I would still be least interested in Transformers, then Heels, then Agatha All Along.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The only reason is because I think Heels is probably going to be good. I don't know how many episodes are out right now, but my time for watching stuff is limited. So,
I can tell you exactly. I'm going to tell you exactly how many of them there episodes there are. 16.
16, yeah. So,
16 over 2 seasons. So
yeah, I'll get around to it eventually, probably. But yeah, and then Transformers 1 is just because I'm gonna wait till I'm not gonna go to theaters for it,
right?
Well,
we saw a poster walking in, a little promotional for Wild Robot.
Okay.
Which is kind of what it sounds like. It's a robot who we saw a trailer for it again. At the same time you saw a trailer for Transformers 1 back when we were Harold and the Purple Crayon. But for Wild Robot, it's like there's some species of robots somewhere in space and they drop one off, kind of like that Wall-E type of thing, except I don't know if they're searching for intelligent life, but this wild robot makes friends with all the animals. And then the mothership comes calling and Wild Robot has to defend its adopted home again, so Garrett, it comes out next week, and I already told Garrett, I'm like, don't get your hopes up about seeing that. Like that's when we'll probably have to wait till it gets home. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well.
So before we get out of here, I was just gonna say again a possible idea for our either blind rankings or a pick 5 next time, since the weather's fall's coming soon. So we could possibly I don't know how we would do this but maybe fall festivities. things to do in fall or something.
Okay.
I don't know. You know, there's a lot out there, maybe, but maybe there's not enough for 30 things. Might have to be a blind rank.
Let's workshop that a little bit.
Yeah. Just an idea.
And I also like the topic that we kicked around a little bit earlier in the week, and then earlier today when I said, "Hey, man, I don't have this ready, but I could." By the way, with the benefit of hindsight, I could not have.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I could have built the list, but I wouldn't have been able to do the graphics.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like between Marvel and DC, building the best cinematic like superhero team.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we got a couple of ideas to kick around a little bit.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, anything else, Mike, that you wanted to
No.
Anything you want to get off your chest tonight?
Nope. I got to get up early in the morning and do some. I got church stuff to do, and then I got watching kids stuff to do, and then that's it. But yeah, so and homework.
I'll have church stuff to do tomorrow, and probably watching some kids stuff and grocery shopping.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you, sir, for taking time out of your evening to come out here and visit with me, and thanks to Highlander Gun and Fred. Fred checked in, but he had a charity event that he was at tonight. Guns and Hoses up there in the Omaha area. Cops versus the firefighters charity boxing event. One of the uncles, I guess his uncles maybe, is fighting in memory of their niece.
All right. Well, so good luck to him.
And by the way, we have an update. The uncle won, and Fred did Fred stuff and offended the table rooting for the opponent. So
I'm glad that he won. I'm also not surprised at the second part.
It's important to know that Fred is consistent. So.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, whether you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook, make sure you do that one thing that we ask you most weeks to do, and that is just to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know every time we are going to bring you a new live stream, or sometime if we have time to drop some other content in there on YouTube. But there's Highlander Gun. Highlander Gun, smash the like button. Thank you, Highlander. We appreciate you coming out, hanging out tonight, buddy. I know Josh liked the video over on Facebook, and he'll watch it at a time that is convenient to him. So,
sure. Yeah, that's what it's for.
But make sure you check our socials. I think our Linktree link is on all of our socials. So if you're on one, you can find the rest of them. And we'll see you next time. So for the co-host of the year and my good friend Michael Luther, I'm Greg Mahoshko. This is Nerds United, a Jittery Monkey podcast at jitterymonkey.com. And we remind you each and every week, easy for me to say, Mike, to be kind
and rewind.
This is a production of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network. For more jittery shenanigans, go to jitterymonkey.com.